sharing screen? I'm not. Okay. All right. Never mind. Man, I'm bad at this, huh? All right. You go back in person, and this is what happens. So I'm presenting my screen now, and this is the website that I was telling you about. So here's the challenge list, okay? And if you try to find this website via the Stlp site, you're never going to find it. So it's the link that was in the email I sent to you yesterday, and I'll go ahead and throw it in the chat here again as well. This challenge list. So let me go ahead and put it in there. That's not it. There it is. Google site, and there it is. Okay, so there's the website I'm talking about. It's the challenge list. And so you've got stuff like the coding challenge, the quick tech recall challenge. So if you've got kids, and I'm sure that, everybody's used Kahoot or quizzes or something, or Socrative at this point. If you've got kids that really enjoy those kind of games, this is for them, all right? Or if you've got kids that are big into quick recall, this is for them. So it's basically a thing where it's a technology version of quick recall. So they might ask you, what is the display part of a computer called, and monitor, would be the answer or something. Or what is this? What does CPU stand for? They choose central processing unit. So those are the kinds of questions they will see on this quick tech recall. So if you got, I'm sure everybody has a kid that's interested in this kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend signing a kid up for this quick tech recall. And I think you can sign up 1 or 2 kids for that, actually. But definitely something I'd do is sign a kid up for that quick tech recall. It's probably one of the easiest events to get kids into, and it's a really fun event live. But it also translates really well to this world too, because of those tools like Kahoot and quizzes and Socrative. So definitely keep that one on your radar. Quick tech recall. If you've got kids, and that's K through 12. All right. So this is something to pay attention to too. The coding challenge is only 6 through 12. So that's for middle and high school. And that's another live event where they'll tell you, okay, I need a kid to start on this date at this time. And then they, would code a website or code something according to the challenge. So another thing that's really popular is this Cinemania. You guys, being from Louisville, most of you probably are living around Louisville. That you probably heard of the 48-hour film festival, where they kind of give you a bunch of props. And they're like, you've got to include an apple in this prop, and a rake, that kind of thing. And so they give you these props that you have to a list of props that you have to include in your video, in your movie, and like maybe like a specific line that you have to say, and then you create a video within 48 hours, and you submit that video. Okay. And so we've had schools win that before. Field Elementary always does really well in that competition. And I don't think they're doing Stlp this year, so that's wide open. So that's great. So that's a good one for you've got kids that make movies. The Cinemania is great. And again, Spiro Hero is if you've got Spiros at your school, or if your kids have a Spiro at home, they can do this competition. They create an original story using their Spiro and videotape it. Other stuff, the Newscast challenge. If you do a newscast at your school, it might be you could just record that one morning, right? You could just record your kids doing the newscast and submit that, right? Help desk is a thing where they would go and they would give you they come to you and they're like, a teacher has a problem. None of her lights are coming on her computer. And then you might go, well, what are the solutions to that? Well, first we check that it's plugged in, right? So it's basically that kind of stuff where the kids work as the IT team, and they figure out, okay, like they get presented with a problem. A teacher's got a certain problem. Well, what do you do? First, you check that it's plugged in. Where would you go to find the drivers for a printer? Where would you go to find, help if you're doing like installing something, that kind of stuff. So if you got kids that are really, really techie and they help the teacher out with their tech support, this is for those kids too. And it's K through 12 again, so it's not going to be too hard for the K through 5 level if you're thinking that it might be. So it's K through 12. So and they have different divisions. So definitely something you might think about too, the help desk support. And then Georgetown robotics use. If you've got kids that are into robots and they've built a robot or they've got a robot, It could be any kind of robot. It could be a Spiro. It could be a robot, some other brand of robot, whatever. If you got robots at your school, or if the kids got robots at home, they can build a robot to do something. And all right, okay, all right. The Georgetown Robotics Institute, for example, Field here did a taco box. So they built a robot that would then dispense chocolate. So you would press a button on the robot and the robot would just hand you chocolate, or like it would drop down. The chocolate would drop, a Hershey's Kiss would drop down. So just a robot could do anything. Honestly, you could build a robot that pushed open a door, or had a scoop on it, and you would just talk about how that robot is doing something and demonstrate it. Again, probably make a video. You'd make a video for that as well. But yeah, all these challenges are on here, and these are all live challenge events, and you can sign up for these events with your intent to participate by April 15th, okay? That's just saying, okay, I intend to participate in this event. The actual events are the week of April 23rd through the 28th. And again, if you're brand new to this and you're wanting to participate in maybe just one of these, Quick Tech Recall is your event, okay? I think every school could have a Quick Tech Recall kid, all right? So think about that. Any other questions about live challenges that you might have? All right. And so yesterday was the deadline for submitting Stlp projects, level 2 projects. I think we had over 50 projects submitted, which is excellent this year. And I had people reach out to me and they were like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get it together. I couldn't get a project submitted. And please, don't nobody feel ashamed or embarrassed or whatever about not being able to pull it together, guys. Because I know we were under a lot of pressure with going back to in person during this time. It was we were on our spring break too. It's there are so many different confluence of scrapes that kind of brought us to this point. And in the middle of a pandemic year, please feel, if you did not submit a level 2 project, do not feel bad about it, okay? Every submission that we got this year is icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned. So just want to say that, and thank you to those who did submit. That's great. But if you didn't, don't feel bad about it. Anything else?
So Russ, the Quick Tech Recall it's different than help desk kind of questions, or could it be that could be part of it?
It could be part of it. The difference between the Quick Tech Recall and the help desk is Quick Tech Recall is going to take the form of a Kahoot or a Quizzes type game, a fastest finger type game. Whereas the help desk is going to be, I believe it's a team competition. Let me make sure here. Yeah, it's a team competition. So you would pick in Jane or a team, and then they get a scenario Miss Jones went to turn on her computer and nothing was coming on. What's the solution? That kind of thing. And they have to write out what they would do, basically, to address that issue.